for you, I have no idea how long it's been. For me, it's literally exactly right after my last video. I am continuing on with Ahriman. So what I've got here are my selection of contrast paints, of which I'm actually going to thin down one more that I had. There we go. One more that I had before, this Frost Hearth. Add a bit to this. And then add just a couple drops of water. See how this works. All right. So I've got my. I really don't need this wet palette anymore because I'm done with all my regular brush work. I'm just going to put that there. All right. So these are the main three I'm working with, but I've still got my Briar Queen Chill here if I want it. And I've also got Hexwraith Flame. So what I want to do is I just want to see about mixing some of these and how they're going to mix. Okay, so that is my Frost Hearth. And then I think the way I want to do this, I think the way it's going to make the most sense is to go from Frost Hearth to Tesseract Glow. To Whoa, that's not a good make. Oh, you guys can't see any of that. Here we go. That's not what I expected at all. Okay, hold on. Let's do a reset here. I'm just going to try the thicker version. The one nice thing about testing contrast paints, they go on so light you can actually just kind of erase them. Whoop! Okay, too thick. He says, immediately dropping a giant blob. Onto the thing. I'm just going to wick a lot of that away. Alright, let's add some Tesseract Glow. And now I'm going to take a lot of this away because I find this one really overpowering. That's the thing, if all three of them meet, they make this kind of shitty brown color. Oh no, it's not if all three of them meet, it's just if the violet meets. Okay. So I'm thinking, my brain's working here. My other option is to hit the Hex Wraith Flame on here. In a transition from Tesseract Glow to Hex Wraith to Frost Hearth. I like the violet. It's a very Zinchi color, but I don't think it's going to do what I want it to do. So we're just going to wipe that off again. So let's see how that looks. So slapped in a little Tesseract. And then we'll go from Tesseract to Hex Wraith Flame. And the other option I guess I could do, I don't know how this is going to work, but I'll try both while I'm here. Hex Wraith to Frost Hearth. Or try it one more time. No. No, unfortunately, purple, you're out. I'm not doing this. Okay. Now with contrast paints, I don't know if anyone else's experience is like mine. I don't find they do well to covering and repainting. So this has been a big thing for me, is testing them first. I know I want the Hex Wraith Glow to start. Right, that is something I know while I'm doing these. It's just a question of what's going alongside it. What order they're all going to go in. This is a new one I picked up the other day. It's not really a color tone I quite enjoyed, but I picked it up for doing purity seals on Thousand Suns characters. Literally the only reason I bought it was to do purity seals on Thousand Suns. Let's drop down our Hex Wraith again. Because this gave me an idea. What if I do? I really like Frosthearth, but what if American Chill is a lot more less intrusive? This is Doomfire Magenta. Ooh, that's some powerful pigment. Alright. Almost kind of like that. It gives me kind of what I was looking for with the purple. Now for the fun part. Getting this on the model. You're gonna have to move up. I ain't gonna have to adjust you because I can't apply this up underneath here like I've been applying other ones. I'm just going to add a couple streaks of this here and there. Last thing I want to see. I need to blend this quick if I'm going to blend it. Fuck it, we're doing it live. We're going to put the Frosthearth on. And where these two colors meet, it'll actually make the purple I wanted. Where these two guys meet will create my beautiful purple I was trying to get. Now, Frost Earth is a paint for me, and your experience may vary. Frost Earth is a paint for me that I found I've had to go light with to get what I really want out of it. But everyone's going to have a different experience, I find, with contrast paints. I find more so than other styles of paint, contrast paints vary. Okay. All right, into the home stretch, the Tesseract. Some Tesseract Glow. Oh, I made a bit of an oopsie. I was a bit too quick merging those. And this has become my absolute favorite contrast paint. All right. So it still needs to dry, but one thing I do highly recommend, that combination of Frost Hearth and Doomfire Magenta, very nice, very good complementary colors. All right. So that takes care of Ahriman's. That takes care of Ahriman's flame effect on the bottom. I'm just gonna bottle up the ones I'm not using anymore. Oh wait, no, I want to do one quick test with this guy, didn't I? Where did my test piece go? Well, maybe it'll turn up in a second. So now I'm on to doing I'm not going to put you away yet in case I find that other little piece. Now I'm on to just finishing up, doing the gems and stuff. For my guys, I just do my gems in Hexwraith. Ah, there it is. Okay. Here we go. Try this Frostheart thing first before I go. So, yeah, I was told a thin down Frostheart does this. Here we go. I was told a thin coat of Frostheart, thin down, does my shade of Thousand Suns blue, but we'll see if they meant thin down or lightly brushed. So let's just take almost all of it off this brush. Okay, so that's both. Alright, I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to come back to it. Granted, I really don't have any more use for Thousand Suns blue, because I don't see myself adding much more. But then again, you never know. I have always wanted to do a Chaos Predator in Thousand Suns colors. And then when they introduced the kind of mechanized detachment for Thousand Suns, I found it really interesting. So maybe. Now, I am going to be doing Ahriman's gems, which, like I said, I do with a little bit of Hexwraith. The only thing I find is that it takes, with the Hexwraith, it takes about 2 coats to do most gems. Which is a little different, but I do like the color Hexwraith gives. I just tried doing one in that Doomfire Magenta. So he has one bloodshot eye. But I just want that one to be a little different because it's so big. You know what I mean? Here we go. We're just gonna. I don't want to make any oopsie daisies while I'm doing these contrast paints. Okay. See, all these gems, I just do a thin coat. And I'll come back to them. And do them a little bit thicker the second time around. I don't know why it works for me, but I feel like when I do them a little bit thicker the second time, they end up with just a better pooling. And maybe that's just my brain doing stuff that doesn't make sense. But that's what I do find. As usual with contrast paints, if you make an oopsie, just wick it back up. You might also find that sometimes a bigger thing like this, the bobble on its back, might need 3 coats instead of just the 2. I find that happens sometimes. Just the way the paint settles into it. What I'm actually going to do... Yeah, no, it should be different enough. Just gonna do all the little eyes on his base here. I was worried about doing them the same color. But they are done with a metallic, so I'm not as worried. Now again, sometimes just the way the paint settles, you might have to go back twice, which is what I'm doing here now. I'm just going to dab some paint on. It didn't quite stick the first time. And then again, back here. This one's being a little bit stubborn, so I might go quite a bit more heavy-handed. There we go, I think. Here we go. See, I told you this one wouldn't take near so long. And the only other thing I've got left to do is to bust out my final new investment. I shouldn't say my final one, I actually have another new one too. But my final new investment, I put Agrax Earthshade, which is something I've never used up until now. But I wanted it to wash the bones. I wanted it just to wash the bones That's what I'm going to use it for. Just give these bones a little bit of a dirt wash. And granted, when I bought it, I actually had changed my mind and I was going to do the ram skull too. But since buying it, I changed my mind back and decided not to do the ram skull. But whatever. Alright, Agrax Earth Shade applied to the two skulls. That's my flame base. I'm actually quite happy with that, how it turned out. Except for that. I don't like that. Or is it? Can you see it? Yeah, there. I don't like that. I was hoping that would turn out better, but oh well. The rest of it, when you look at it from this angle, I'm actually really happy with. Alright. Badoobadops are done. The Badoobajis are done. The Badambadoombadoos are done. Got a couple little touch-ups to do. Anything else? Ooh, one more thing. I'm seeing it here now. I almost missed it. What color is going to go best for that? Put the top on the Agrax. Put the top back on the Hex Wraith. You know what, purple? You're going to get your moment. I'm going to do you just because you haven't got anywhere else today. I've wanted to use you. One purple feather. One purple feather. And then I actually bust this back out again. I don't know what this is, but it's now Doomfire Magenta. I'm gonna guess this was supposed to be a Talon. But fuck you, it's my model. It's gonna be Doomfire Magenta. There we go. Okay, we are pretty well clued up here now. The last thing I have to do with this is bust out the ultimate wash, the bread and butter, if I can find mine, and bust out the ultimate wash, some Nuln. A wee bit of Nuln oil. And as you can tell from my almost empty pot, I have fallen into the classic trope of spilling my Nuln oil. It's amazing, isn't it? How some things just mean their way into truth. Here, I like to hold my washers like this when I'm doing them, so I'll bring you up with me. Can we focus up? Thank you. So I already washed the skulls. I'm just going to put some Nuln here. And in there. And along here. some of that. We're going to wick away some of what ended up in there. A little heavy. But a lot of it can stay. Oh, I missed some piping. And we'll get that after. You're fine. Someone has dared to open their car door. My dogs are upset by it. Did someone dare to open their car door in your neighborhood, Memphis? Is that what's going on? Okay. So I've nulled out most of what I want to null. Very specific along these seams. because they don't have any other differentiation. I'd like them to be a little bit darker on the edge. All right. Now, like I said, I've got some minor touch-up work to do on this guy. I know that. Don't judge me too harshly. This is pretty well as far as I'm going to go other than the touch-ups. So I'm just going to change that light. There we go. Bring this light here down. And this is what we have. This is my Ahriman. Man, that magenta though, holy crap, that pops. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed me finishing Ahriman. After him, I think up next is probably some Sots, as I still finish up building my Votan. But again, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, and enjoy your summer. Right, Memphis? Yeah, right. Oh, and the YouTube begging. Memphis, do the YouTube begging. He's not doing it, but I'll do it. Begging for YouTube. Thank you.